Hello. Hello. I didn't realize I was live all of a sudden. How is everybody doing? Good evening. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. I wasn't sure if anyone would show up because it's been such an exciting day. It's been kind of a crazy day with all the news. But while Adam's getting ready, I want to tell you guys just a couple things in case you're interested. I'm going to have on Monday, I'm going to have 2 new e-courses up on my website. So you can go and grab those, and they're cheap, which is the way I roll. One is on the dowsing rods as using as a tool, and it's how versatile it is. And the other one is on connecting with and communicating with orbs. So if you like those things, go there, and you can just intuitiview.com. You can go to classes, and they're there on Monday morning. And I also want to tell you that I got these cards from Lizanne. I don't know if you can see them. They look like that. 9 Worlds cards. They're for Feng Shui. They are art cards. They're super cute. I usually don't show stuff like this, but they're really cute. They have a little message on them. They have Feng Shui stuff on the back. They're just really cool. But I'm going to put just email me if you're interested in those, and I'll get the information to her if you're interested in getting her cards. And then we have our last, my last class with Debbie on the 1st of November. It's our last class before the end of the year, and it's the master class. And that one is for people who'd like to read either for other people or professionally. And it could be anything, healing or whatever you're doing, tarot or whatever. You don't have to read like I do or like Debbie does. You can be your own thing. So again, just email me or and I'll also put the link down at the bottom. You can go and see about that. Okay, done with that. All right, so let us begin. Let us begin. All right, for entertainment purposes only, yes. As always. Okay. Will Trump appear before the January 6th panel as a result of the subpoena? And will he plead the Fifth Amendment? Okay, so it was interesting because, of course, when I sit and watch this stuff, I'll get things as I'm watching it. And the thing that was so interesting about that was that I got that he probably won't, but that he really wants to. He's going to really want to. Because he thinks that, he's a great salesman. He could convince anybody of anything. Why couldn't he just go there and talk? He's kind of a dope that way and just thinks he's so brilliant and that he can fool everybody. So I feel like he's really going to put up an argument as to why he should. But I feel like whoever his counsel is or whatever, they won't allow him to. Thank you, just Jean. He will act like in public like he wants to, but I think he's just he just thinks he's so brilliant. If he just has a chance to speak, we'll all just believe him and it'll be over. But as we know, that is not how it works. So they'll tell him no. So I don't think he will. That's a long story short, but it was just funny because I just knew he wanted to, but they never. The cards are called everyday art cards. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Michelle Magurian. Thank you for the super sticker. How are the Capitol Police officers doing in the committee room today? How is Officer Fanone? That my husband really likes Officer Fanone. He always feels sad when he sees him. I feel like they're doing better, like than they were at the beginning. It's funny though, I almost feel like they're a little bit, sad, but a little bit it's gonna be hard for them when these hearings stop because, it's kind of like they're not really in a position to just go back to normal life, and yet that's probably what's gonna be expected once these are done. Oh, thank you, Janet Nebraska, thank you. Um, but it feels like so in a way, I guess it's kind of like there's a comfort to this going on. There's a comfort to this happening and then being kind of surrounded by people, like live in a room that way, like being surrounded by people. And I feel like there's a fear of what happens when things go back to normal because they can't go back to normal, you know? So I feel like it's good and they're happy to see it over, and yet it's hard because they're gonna feel kind of alone. So I feel like they're all feeling a little bit, you know, on both sides of the fence. You know, glad to see it done, but at the same time, it's been kind of nice to have people rallying around them. Thank you, Critter Sanctuary. Cute little puppy. So I'm at Fanone. Let me look at Fanone. Sir Fanone. I feel actually like the book was actually really good for him. So he wrote a book, and he's kind of going around and talking about it. That was kind of therapeutic to go through that, to the book writing process. Um, I feel like he had a lot of help with it, as far as like getting it out quickly. So I feel like he had a lot of help, but I feel like it was good for him to kind of go through everything. I feel like it was hard emotionally, but it was good that it it it, it was therapeutic. Um, I feel like financially it will do well. Um, but um, it's funny because I feel like he's still dealing with a lot of physical things. Um, because they're showing me like a back thing, a chest thing, must be like a breathing thing, a head thing, something with the neck, like a whole bunch of things that are still like he's still dealing with these physical issues. So that's where he is. But I feel like emotionally he's better than he was, and psychologically better. Okay. How's Donald doing tonight? Is he feeling okay? As Lawrence O'Donnell would say, Donald J. Trump is having the worst day ever today. Yes, exactly. He is having the worst day ever. So it's very interesting looking at him because, of course he's angry. I mean, he's always like angry and they're out to get me and that kind of stuff, always playing the victim and whatever. And I feel like there's a lot of that. But what's interesting is that he's not uncomfortable in this environment. I feel like this is where he lives, is kind of, he's most comfortable in the position of having to defend himself in some way and having to lash out in some way and having to, you know, feel like he's being picked on in some way. It's like that's his comfort zone. And I know so many people would be just the opposite. Most people say going through a court case was the worst time of their life, or being sued was the worst time of their life. He is not that way. He's comfortable in chaos. And so his nightmare would be like something going to jail or house confinement or something like that, where he had to, or even a gag order would be his worst nightmare, because that's his comfort zone, is complaining and howling at the moon and howling at people around him, and being kind of in all this chaos and defending himself and coming up with defenses and coming up with plans and schemes and stuff. And his worst self would be how most of us love to be, which is like not really any chaos, not really, kind of just life being peaceful and normal. That would be his hell. That would be his hell, because he he wouldn't know how to function in that. So is it a bad day? It's no worse than all the other days, because he lives in bad days. That's his comfort zone. So yeah, he is a drama. Yeah, he thrives in the attention. He thrives on the drama, on the chaos, on the fighting, all of that stuff. So and that's what he goes right into when something like this happens. He just goes right into, well, how are we going to do this? And you need to do this, and you need to do that. He's just, you know, um, so he's in his element. Let's just put it that way. But he's mad. I mean, he's always mad. So, no crazy Ginni Thomas today. Why did the committee choose not to include her QAnon nonsense? Well, it's funny because at the very end, when I was watching Liz Cheney, I got that she was very upset by that, by her testimony, by Ginni Thomas's testimony, that it was very unnerving and kind of it was very upsetting. And I think that she thinks, and some of the committee people think, that she's ill, she's sick. And so it's almost like it would be exploitive in a way, because, well, plus what she's saying is untrue, and some people do think she has clout. And so for her to say, oh yes, it was stolen, blah blah blah, that's not good. But also, just I feel like they think she's ill, she's sick, there's something wrong with her brain, and there's something wrong with her. And I actually feel like, for the first time tonight, I feel like her husband kind of thinks that too. And notice that they kicked his case out of the Supreme Court. They didn't want anything to do with it. And I feel like, as crazy as Thomas is, and he's nuts, and he's definitely has weird ideas about things. I don't think he really, really believes that the election was stolen, but I do think he thinks his wife does, and I do think he knows she's on the edge. So I think that's why. I think they thought it was almost I don't want to say a kindness to her, but it was just a protective in a way. And I think because Liz Cheney kind of knows her, I don't know that for sure, but I feel like she does, like she knows her in some way. And I feel like it made her really, it was very upsetting and very sad. And she was very surprised, actually. So yeah, there you go. We didn't get to see I said that too. I said to Adam, I'm like, whenever they have a hearing, they just have to throw that in somewhere. Josh Hawley running away. Run, Josh, run. Will here Jim Jordan or others involved pay any price? Okay, well, just a reminder that earlier, I think it was the first or second hearing around that time, my guides had said there'd at least be 10 people indicted or in his circle, like around him, those kind of higher up people. And I assumed, that would include like Senate people or whatever. But let me see. Jim Jordan. Something's coming with Jim Jordan. Like public embarrassment or public something. I'm not sure about that, but something's coming with Jim Jordan. It's almost like, don't worry about that guy. And both of them, it's weird because I feel like both of them are going to offer things up. Um, they're ultimately they're not brave, right? They're like the most scared, um, spineless people, but I feel like they offer things up. So they may escape like actual charges, but I feel like they're not untouched by it. Um, they're not untouched by the scandal, and I feel like they offer things up. And so they may be looked at by the base as like traitors or whatever. But Jim Jordan, I can't put my finger on it, but something public and something like um, embarrassing or some kind of public something retribution in the public in some way. So, oh, oh, the George Clooney documentary on the sexual assault on Ohio State. Maybe that's it, sweetie darling. Maybe it is. Maybe that's what it is. And you know how those things can kick up things again, we saw that with like Epstein and stuff, things that um once it came out about that, there was an article written about that case where he got off so easy, and that's what kind of kicked up everything starting again. So that kind of stuff can do a lot of damage when you get it out into the public in a way that they understand it, and it's the whole story, and it's on Netflix, and that can have a big effect. So Craig Dixon, I don't feel like anything. If there's anything holding it up, it feels like production or something. It doesn't feel like somebody is like, you can't come out. It doesn't feel like that. It just feels like they're finishing it up, and I feel like actually there was a very complicated, and it was complicated to make. I feel like they had to get lots of permission from different entities and different people and places and that kind of stuff. It feels like it was kind of tedious to make. So I'm just feeling like it's that kind of stuff that's holding it up, if anything's holding it up. We learned today that the Secret Service knew, and I know in the days before, and I said there was going to be Secret Service stuff. I mean, not that I'm like, I said that, but I did. I saw a lot of Secret Service stuff. I kept seeing that footage of the Secret Service with Pence. I kept seeing that. So I thought, well, must have something to do with Pence and Secret Service and whatever. Anyway, sometimes it's hard to tell. There was violence planned. Why didn't they report it? Why have they lied? Well, I had said when we were watching it that it was, I call him Tony Baloney. I don't know what his what his last name is. The Tony Baloney guy. Um, that it was like his thing, like his now he's one that might be actually indicted because I feel like he um orchestrated things or ran things or um heavily influenced some of the secret, I would say some, not all the Secret Service. I feel like there were some that were um not okay. Um but it's kind of like I feel like they didn't quite know what to do. The ones that were not okay with it kind of didn't know, they kind of didn't know what to do. And it is kind of one of those things where just following orders, that kind of thing, which is not an excuse, we know that. But the Tony Baloney guy, I feel like he was or orchestrating and like encouraging this kind of like this attitude of that he needs to be back in there. Um, and sorry, for him too, it was for him it was all about losing his position, losing because he was in a very, very good position. Um, so I feel like that's what that was his whole motivation, was just, I want to keep in this position and I want Trump to stay where he is. But I don't think for a minute he thought it was stolen or anything like that. Nothing like that. It just feels totally selfish, motivations. And I feel like he definitely was the influencer, orchestrator of the Secret Service. So, and I think they're going to find out that he at least was, if not the main person telling them to not tell the truth, he was definitely one of the people saying don't say anything. So yeah. Is there a particular issue holding back the indictment on Trump in the classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, the Mar-a-Lago case? Magalardo case. Okay. Particular issue. So I actually see Merrick Garland like ducks in a row, no stone unturned. If it's anything holding it up, it feels like his thoroughness and kind of methodicalness. And he is not, it's interesting because I don't get a feeling of like, he is not influenced at all by like when the when the election is, what happens afterwards. He's just like, it's like, we'll do it when it's ready. We'll do it when I've got everything I need. Because when he goes and indicts him, he expects to win. So he's not going to go unless he's absolutely sure we're going to win. Everything's here. There's nothing that's, no stone unturned, every duck's in a row. So it's more him. At least that's what I am getting, that it's him being so methodical and so careful about his own work and the work of the people around him. Will the GOP cheat at all during the midterms? Will this have any meaningful impact on the results? Okay. So for entertainment purposes, yes, I feel like in the way of I don't think necessarily they'll destroy votes or anything like that. To me, it is, but I do think they'll throw them away. And I do think they'll be very, do the kind of stuff that they did in Georgia the last time Stacey Abrams was running, where they kind of just disenfranchised people, close down polling places. Thank you, Carroll Safranek. Close down polling places, make them further away, those kinds of things, that dirty tricks and yeah, cheating. So cheating by throwing stuff out on technicalities, oh, they didn't have a middle name, throw it out, whatever, things like that. The one that keeps coming up for me, that as far as it hurting any race, is the governor's race, that the one in Georgia. because I think that she won the first time if they would have let all the votes. They disenfranchised like 1 million people. So I feel like she won the first time, and she should win this time, but I get a really kind of, it's almost like a mediocre feeling, like it's it's not 100% because of this, because of the cheating. So will they cheat? Yeah. Will it be impactful for everyone? I don't think so. I think this is what I've been getting, and um, if it's not this, I'm sorry, but I keep getting that they have no idea what's coming at them, and that this is going to be um, a a blowout. I just feel like a ton of Republicans are going to get thrown out, and I just feel like it's going to be almost like a historic thing. Um, that's what I'm getting, because I keep telling, when Adam and I are watching this stuff, I keep telling them, they keep talking about voters that have been registered. They're not looking at new voters. I feel like it's just off the charts, and I just feel like, yeah, women are going to come out in droves. They really are, and I think a lot of younger people are going to come out. I just feel it. I feel like it's just going to be, and I haven't gotten any the closer that we got to Trump, I mean, I always saw that he was going to fall. So we always knew that. But and when we got closer and closer to, I just felt like this is not even going to be close. And it wasn't. It wasn't close. Um, and that we would get the Senate and we would get the House, we would get it all. And I'm feeling like that now. I'm not getting the like I heard the crowds cheer and I got things like that. But right now I'm just feeling like it's going to be historical. They are doomed. They're going to get thrown out one by one, and that's what I'm getting. So that's I don't know if that question's going to come up, but that is what I'm getting. So even if there's cheating, will Trump show up at the Jean Carroll deposition? She accused him of raping her in a dressing room. Yes. Will she pull him into the Me Too movement? Well, she kind of already did. Marby Gangora, thank you for the super sticker. So um I can't say for sure what's going to happen on the day, because I feel like he's trying to get out of it, or he wants to get out of it. So I feel like right now he is trying to get out of it. I even saw like a health thing. So I don't know if that's one of the things they're throwing around, or if he'll try to say like he's sick or something, but I feel like he's really trying to get out of it. And this Alex Jones thing has like spooked him. Um, he's getting really nervous about, um, in the past, a lot of like civil things, he could just pay off people, you know, settle basically. And he doesn't have that choice in these ones coming up, or he's not going to have these choices in the ones coming up. So it spooked him. So he's more nervous about that than he's ever been before, because he was not worried about like, oh, we'll just settle, or oh, we'll just do this. But he's that spooked him. So I feel like he's gonna, okay, so my answer is I feel like he's gonna try to get out of it some way. But if he can't, he'll have to go. But I feel like he's gonna try to get out of it. So will Katie Hobbs debate Carrie Lake for the Arizona governorship? Well, why does Carrie Lake have crazy eyes? She does, right? Yes, she does. She does. I mean, she doesn't. She's just one of those people that I can't stand. I'm sorry, but it's like that Sarah Palin type of just very whatever, ambitious, morally bankrupt people that, I mean, it's not just, it's mostly, I guess I get more disappointed with women when they're like that because I just think you should really know better. Um, and yeah, it's just disappointing. But so Katie Hobbs debate Carrie Lake. I think I'm getting, it's weird because I'm like, why wouldn't she? But it's kind of like, I will if I have to. So I feel like they're going to see where they are percentage wise. And if she feels like she has to, she will. I don't understand though why she wouldn't just debate her. Because I feel like she's smarter than her. But I feel like she's getting advice, like not to for some reason. I haven't never seen her speak or anything, so maybe she's not as well spoken or whatever, but I feel like they're telling her she's getting advice not to for some reason. And I feel like they're waiting to see what the percentage points are or how close or if she needs to. Because if they're very, very, if it's really, really, really close, I don't think she will. If she's really far out, because I feel like they think it's going to hurt her for some reason. I don't know why that would be. So, um, and it's annoying because Carrie Lake gets so much attention, even from the left wing press. She gets so much attention, and even when they're saying like, "Oh, she's really polished," she's going to be. Stop talking about her. You know, left wing people, stop talking about her. Stop giving her free airtime like they did. That's what they did with Trump. It's really annoying. Anyway, that's my that's like that's my soapbox. That's what I'm going to say. So there you are. Will more Dem candidates get tough like Tim Ryan did with yes. I know that's so great. Um, I actually do. I feel like like it comes across like they're learning. They're learning. Because I don't think that is the typical Democratic stance. They really are like into policy and writing policies, and they really are that way. And so um to have to go down that road, it's not really comfortable for a lot of people that end up getting into government if they're Democrats. So I feel like it's an uncomfortable place to be, but they're getting it. They're getting the hang of it. They're starting to understand it's going to be necessary, at least for a while, to be kind of tough and to have prepared zingers and stuff like that. They're getting it. They are getting it. Yeah. Will Letitia James, AG office, be successful blocking Trump.org or Trump.org, sorry, Trump.org from moving assets to a new protected org? She filed today. I think she will actually. I feel like there's conditions on it. And this is when it gets so hard to interpret, but I feel like there's conditions of some kind on it. So like if they win, then they can do it. Or if um, they can move it, but it's on hold. It can't be launched until after this case is over. Like it has conditions. So I feel like, yes, she will be successful in blocking Trump.org, but I feel like it's because they're putting all these conditions on it that make it impossible for it to ever go anywhere, so yeah, that's what I feel like. Do you still see 2 Black women winning Senate seats this year? I don't remember saying that, but maybe I did. I don't remember much of what I say when I read, so that's okay. It's interesting because I feel like Val Demings is going to have a tough fight for some reason. I think she'll win, but I think she's going to have it. Maybe one of these things where she, again, like an Al Franken thing, where she has to keep, going back to court or getting things counted or something. Bribery. I just heard bribery. So something's going on in Florida as per usual. So ultimately I think she'll win though. It's weird because I feel like there's a lot to this, but I feel like she'll win. So I'm gonna say yes. I'm not getting anything very different except that weird thing I just saw in Florida, which was kind of weird, but I feel like ultimately she's gonna come out ahead. So I guess yeah. Yeah, yeah, I think so. I don't know who the other person is though, but anyway, yeah, I do. Just gonna say yeah, because I'm not getting anything like no, no, anything like I'm not getting a feeling of no. So stick with it. Yeah, Debbie K said that Val has to go to court to get the win. I think so too, Debbie K. Well, we find out Herschel Walker has actually had 4 more kids and has still. I mean, I know this is a joke, but um, I actually feel like there's more. I don't know if it's more women to come out, but I feel like there's more stuff, which is just you can't. Um, I just feel like there's more like just shoes to drop. Let's just put it that way. And it may just be like incidences that happen between some of the people or like his kids or something like that. But I feel like there's more stuff to drop. So kind of. And then him just embarrassing himself over and over again. I know, party of family values, that's gone. Do you see Tina Kotek winning the governor's race in Oregon? I actually felt like Democrats would do really well in governorships. And I did feel like it had to do with Roe v. Wade and stuff. So I felt like they'll do well. But let me see, Tina Kotek. So I'm hearing yes with help. So so maybe she has a great team or something, or pray. She needs our prayers. She needs a little bit of assistance. But I heard yes with help. So hopefully her team has got her back, and then maybe we can pray for her. Pray for her. Russia is clearly losing the war in Ukraine. Yes. Is Putin trying to find an exit ramp, or is he going to Hitler? Is he going the Hitler end up on fire in a ditch route? Okay. I feel like he's building up to something. I told you, no, I didn't tell you this. When I was on with Milu, um, I had said that I keep getting this image. It's kind of a disturbing image, but of blue, frozen Russian soldiers. And so I feel like the winter is going to be absolutely awful for Russia, for the Russian soldiers. And literally, they're going to freeze to death, or some are going to freeze to death or starve to death or something. Or it's too much. They're frozen in place. I mean, it could be a lot always, but I think it's kind of literal. I think there's something to do with the winter and the weather and all of that. So I just wanted to throw that in because I hadn't mentioned it, but I keep seeing that. It's like a reoccurring, and I'll get that every so often, like with the Trump, falling from the skyscraper, the King Kong. We get it again and again. Um, and Rob dreamed about a nuclear incident there. I feel like he's building up to something, and I feel like that's his last act. Um, because I feel like the whole world is like, enough of this. So whichever happens first, maybe this incident or maybe because the it goes so horribly in the winter, maybe he does something that is just, I don't I don't necessarily want to say it's nuclear. I don't want to say that. I don't want to feed that fear or feed that idea. But I feel like it's just something that everyone's like, okay, enough. And he's forced out, basically. But I also feel like it's at home, he's forced out. It's like he's just forced out and he's leaving. Either he's going to die, he's going to drink tea and die, he's going to fall through a window and die, or he's just going to be pushed out of his position, or, by his own people. I've always seen his people kind of, you know, uh, turning against him, opening the prisons. I mean, we've talked about this, right? There's a way this is going. And even history, right? We know how the story ends. This does not end well for him at all. So I think they may be saying like, oh, there's an exit ramp or whatever, but I just feel like he doesn't, his pride won't let him see that as a viable option. I think he'd rather have, some kind of blaze of glory than like a little whimper. That's the kind of person he is, or who he's become, or whatever. Um, what if his fatal error was blowing up his own bridge and blaming Ukraine, then bombing all kinds of stuff? I mean, that's it, right? He's just every decision is horrible. I have felt like pray for Zelensky, put a white light around Zelensky, because I feel like that's where he's going. So just put a white light around him, pray for him. So I'll think good thoughts about Zelensky and that he'll be safe and fine. But yeah, so that's kind of where that is. So I can't end well for him. I can't. Is not going to. Is FBI Director Chris Wray compromised anyway? Will he be fired for missing all signals on January 6th? Yeah, he's a mystery, that guy. I'll have to do a reading just on him. Um, so I feel like there are going to be people let go, or people are going to step down or be let go from the FBI. I feel like some people already were, some people already left, but I feel like there's going to be some more. Um, it doesn't feel like a mass thing, but it feels more strategic. Like certain individuals have to go. I'm going to ask if he is compromised. Well, so I'm getting that so um, he's not really compromised in the way we think of it. It's more that he is very, very, very protective of the FBI, the institution of the FBI. Like um, he's just very, very protective of it and doesn't want anything hurting the FBI he wants to protect the FBI. And so I feel like, but I don't feel like he's like with Trump or anything like that, or down with the white supremacists or anything like that. I feel like he's fully for the United States, but I feel like he also is very, very hell bent on protecting the FBI. So he may just dismiss people and not say why. He may just like something like that, where he just is not going to have anything bad said about the FBI. But I think, we're going to find out a lot. But as far as compromised, I don't see it like that. I feel that it's just that he's very protective of the FBI. What's going on with North Korea? And no, but Kim Jong-un. Let's see. Oh, Adam. What's going on with North Korea? As usual, they're trying to get attention. They're trying to get stuff like get paid, basically. Get get It has something to do with China, though. There's something to do with China. I feel like he's trying to get something from China or get a deal with China or cozy up to China. There's something with China with him. And I feel like he's hoping to sell something. It has to do with weapons. Think he's hoping to sell weapons. So it's like, look what we have, and then he'll send off a rocket. This is going out of business sale. It's like, I guess he's just showing off to show what they have. But it does feel like he's wanting to sell weapons. He's cozying up to China. He wants China's like approval and recognition. I feel like he wants money. Um, it's all of that. So that's what they're up to. Weapons to Russia, yeah, weapons to Russia. I really feel strongly to China for some reason. So maybe there's something going on there with the deal, or I don't know, something weird, whatever they do, whatever dictators do, whatever they do, or communists do, whatever. Yeah. Alrighty. Follow-up question on the no battle game. Is he a body devil? No, I get no such luck. I mean, no such luck. He's not a body double. I feel like he was, though. They did use a body double, though. I feel like they did use a body double for a long time. Not for a long time, but for quite a while. I feel like he was out of commission for quite a while and on death's door. And I even feel like he was in a coma or put in a coma or something. But I feel like he slowly, very slowly, came out of it. just hesitating because I'm asking if they're still using one because I feel like they still use one from time to time. It's like he's not completely well, but he's still alive, but he's not that well. So I feel like they from time to time they use a double and old footage, that kind of thing. Like they pretend like it's new footage, but it's old footage. Um, but I'm getting he's still around. And that they do use a body double, but it's not just a body double. Let's put it that way. Hope that makes sense. Okay, there's a lot of inflation pressure globally and disruption from cryptocurrencies. You see big changes with banks and currencies. Financial stuff is my worst thing. Well, or I feel like it is. Maybe it's not, but I feel like it is. Okay, so there's a lot of inflation pressure globally and disruption of cryptocurrencies. Do you see big changes? Ooh. Argentina? Why do I hear Argentina? Argentina. I don't know anything about Argentina, but I just heard Argentina. I feel like the cryptocurrencies will be kind of limited, like here and there, not everywhere, but kind of like here and there. Sri Lanka. Just hearing places, like random places. I don't know anything about these random places. Um,
So, just to interrupt, sorry, I don't like to do it normally, but the top article I got from the New York Times is basically that many Argentinians or Argentines consider crypto more stable than their own currency. So they were an early adopter of cryptocurrency, and so they actually consider it more stable.
oh,
So maybe it's interesting that
so maybe something will go wrong there, or something. Because I feel like it's not good. Like it's not good for them, or there's something going on with them. So I don't know, but that's interesting. Okay, thanks, Adam. Nice, yeah, because um so it feels like it's hit and miss. Like it will be in some places, like they'll adopt it really heavily in some places, and other places not. Here I feel like it will be like it kind of has been. Um, insured. I feel like some places might get insured, um, insurance or something from the government or something like that. Um, so there's something about insurance that will come up for types of currency, that will kind of stabilize them in some way. This is, I feel like here, will be like a solution, or like a idea or something like that. Um, oh yeah, I heard Belarus. That's right, Tony. Yeah, I heard Belarus, my last thing. Out of nowhere, just Belarus. Okay. So, so as far as the banks, I feel like with cryptocurrencies, there might be like extra insurance or something from the government to kind of, because I feel like it's all about like trying to stabilize everything. And so they're going to do what they need to do, like to stabilize things. So I feel like here, that kind of stuff will be pretty stable. At least I don't feel like anything huge. Um, but it's other places. I feel like there's going to be some other places where they don't do that, they don't shore it up, and it's kind of a disaster. Um, or it's kind of a mess, and it's very easy, like for people to corrupt it, or to I don't say steal it, but like corrupt it in some way. Um, but our banks and stuff, I just feel like it's more of the same, you know, interest rates going up a little bit and trying to make everything stable. But I feel like, for some reason, insurance comes up when I'm talking about the cryptocurrency. So maybe that will help in some way. But I feel like they're gonna kind of stabilize it here, and make it more like something's backing it up. It's not just out there. It's just not just, you know, nothing. It's kind of like it's stabilized or supported in some way. So if that again, if that even makes sense, I guess it's just gonna have to, because that's just what I get. Who was responsible for blowing out the bridge to Crimea? Can we assume Ukraine? I heard dissenters, so I feel like it was people. I feel like it was kind of a mixture. I feel like it was like Ukraine for entertainment purposes only, partly Ukrainians and partly like people against the war. Um, there might have been like people from Crimea or something that are kind of like, because it feels like a mixed bag, a mixed pot. So it feels like it's not just one thing. It's not just Russia, but it feels like people like against the war, like dissidents or like, you know, people that are, um, and then it feels like Ukraine, and I guess it's people actually from Crimea. Something about it was, there's something about it that was, it's like it didn't quite go as planned. So I feel like it almost like it wasn't meant to. I just hear like it didn't quite go as planned. So I don't know if they expected it to do all that, but that's what happened. But there's something about it that's like it wasn't planned that way, or wasn't exactly supposed to go like that. So maybe they were just trying to stop something, or I'm not sure, like stop that truck or what. I'm not sure, but it feels like it wasn't quite supposed to go that way. But yeah, whatever. It's just like, well, you know, we'll take it. But it does feel like it something. Yeah, it wasn't quite planned just like that, but that's what happened. 5 people arrested, 3 Russian and 2 Ukrainian. Yeah, I do feel like it was like Russia, but I feel like people like against the war, people that are not for Putin, not for the war. So that would fit, at least with what I'm getting. But I feel like there's somebody else, so it's like dun dun dun, like there's 3 different places. And I just keep saying Crimea because that's the bridge. So but I don't know. It came from Crimea. Thank you for Fireside Psychic. Oh, last questions. Ooh, oh wow, it's already been an hour. I feel like it's not. When I get in this like space, it does almost feel timeless in a way. It's really weird. What's happening with MTG's divorce library? Okay, she wants privacy, you guys. We have to give her privacy. The cave trail, is she living her best life? She is living her best life. It's going great. I don't know if you've noticed. MTG. TG, what is living her best life? That's weird. I feel like she's gonna have to pay him something. I feel like okay, this is what I'm getting. You can tell me if this is not right, because I don't really know about anything really about her husband. I feel like he blames her for something with his livelihood not working out or not going well or getting hurt. And so it's like she needs to give me the money for what I would have had, what I would have made. That's what it feels like to me. Um, and I feel like it it doesn't quite feel, oh, thank you, Truth. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Super sicker. Oh my gosh, thank you. It feels like I have stuff on you. Like I'll let this, it almost feels like bribing somebody, or like not bribing, what is it called? Um uh Extortion. It feels like it's like extorting somebody. Um but I feel like the courts will say like she has to give him money. It's weird. It's really interesting though. It almost feels like I have this stuff on you. You can either pay me or get blackmail. Thank you. You can either pay me for what I would have made and all my stuff, or we can go through court and all this is going to come out. So that's what it feels like. Um, but even though they may act like, oh, it's for the best and whatever, but it feels very contentious to me. It does not feel like, because I feel real like anger towards her and real like disgust, and like I'm not leaving with nothing kind of thing, or I'm not leaving without getting my last poke in, because I'm just like pissed off. So it doesn't feel like child support. It feels like personal. It feels like from him, from her to him, like, you give me this is mine. Yeah, it doesn't feel like child support. It feels like just, I want this because you ruined my life. You ruined my business, you ruined my life, you ruined everything, so give me this. um That's what it feels like. Oh God, MTG Matt Gates. I mean, there isn't a more horrifying picture. Okay, there's a new COVID subvariant BQ1.1 detected in New Zealand. Will it come to the US and will it be bad? Q1. So, I've always felt, and I guess things can change, but I've always felt like 2020, 2021, that was the worst of it. We're not really in our lifetime, most of our lifetime's going to see, and how young you are, but most of our lifetime's going to see something like that again. So, but when I say this one, it feels like it'll go around, but pretty quickly they'll have like um, a booster or a something for it. It's going to be it'll be around, but not like the first time it hit us or anything like that. But it will go around. I feel like it will go around different places. It might come here, but it doesn't feel like it's a ton of people. It just feels like, oh yeah, it comes here and they've got a booster and that's it. It's kind of like how the other ones have kind of been, just updating the booster, updating the shot, updating the vaccine. It's like that more than anything else. And it's a matter of like, for whatever people think about Biden, he's been great with this, and he's so on top of it and so aware. So I would say in his hands, it's good. It's good. But they will have to like update everything, that kind of thing. Probably tell people to go get your shot, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. Yeah, care management from now on, exactly.
That's it.
That's it. Oh, okay, that's it. Okay, well, I'll just name check people. And I just wonder if you didn't hear that, I'm going to have 2 new classes up on Monday on my website. One is on the dowsing rods and how I love them so much. And the other one is and how versatile they are, how you can use them in everything. And and then another class on contacting and communicating with orbs. So, and they're cheap. They're not expensive. And then we have our last master class and our last class of the year with Debbie and I. So if you're interested in that, please let me know. We'd love to have you. It's a small class. It's really fun. Yeah, that's it. Okay, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, and the cards. I'm sorry. These are 9 worlds and they are everyday art cards. Recognize moments of art expressed in the everyday, capturing beauty in both the ordinary and extraordinary. They're really beautiful cards. So yeah, that's with Lizanne. If you want those, just get in touch with me and I'll send you over to her, okay? Thank you so much, everybody. All right, Craig Dixon, Fireside Psychic, Aries Girl, Virgo. Oh, whoops. I think I went too fast now. The world. Okay, Sweetie Darling Lulu. Aries Virgo Moon. Oops, Connie B. Oh no, Anita Girola, Shelly S. Bye, Connie B. Thank you. Nancy the Water Chick. Thank you. Noelle Douglas, Melda, Pamela Stevens, Aspie Third Eye. Thanks, everybody. Constance Campbell, Chris Wickens, Irene Astorga, Kim Seven, Sandra in Connecticut, thank you for coming out, hanging out. Celestial Lightworker, love orbs, me too. Listen to your heart. Thank you. Jane Finley, English. Craig, Jane Finley, English. Dixon. Oh, John of New, thanks. And John of New and I are gonna do a show on Good and Evil and Crime and Punishment. So we're gonna do that when I get back from England. Oh, that's the other thing. On Saturday, I'm gonna have on live on here with Kevin, the healing medium. So I've never met him. Excited to meet him. Heard wonderful things. All right. Lucretia Valdez, Chili Dog, DeJoy Joyce, Frida Singer, Annette Lewis, Mary Phillips, Justine, thank you. Anna Makito, Cheryl McLemore, Lizanne, thank you. That's Lizanne Real. That's his cards I was having. Mary Martell, and she was in our master class too. Delilah Gillis, yes, get flu shots. Liz L, Neptune's daughter, Debbie K, thank you. Shelby S, Elizabeth, Elizabeth, Farone, Sandra, Tibbet, Smiling Heart, thank you. Kelly Scarborough, thank you. Kelly, Marby Gongora, Mother of Three Gotcha, UB Jr., oh, UB Jr., Carol Gallagher, thank you. Carol Lamb, thanks so much. Listen to your heart. Heather, Dan, artist, painter, thank you, Dan. Karen Conroy, Marissa H, City Girl Row. Oh, I forgot to mention the club. Yeah, if you want to join the club, join the club. I have to get better at this, you guys. I'm not very good at this. EQ is 3333. Thank you. Spiritual Seeker 583. Frida Stinger, Sandman. Yay, the Batcave. Linda Thomas. Judy H. John of New, thanks. And check out John of New's channel. He has John of New's channel. Aries Girl Virgo Moon, thank you. Sterling Roses. Smiling Heart, Mother Three Gotcha, Deanna, Diane CM, Palma Stevens, Marvita Dragonfly. Gosh, I'm running behind here. Sparky, Joe Schmo, Leonard Bryant, Shelly S. Be Still and Know, Martha. Thank you so much, Shelly S. Carol Ginsburg. Sterling Roses, Marie Henson, Locamole, Secondhand News, which is cute. Mary Martell, Bernie 444, Dr. Nancy Living, co-creatively, Prince Charming's mom, Jess R. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks so much for coming out, everybody, and having it's been kind of a long day with that hearing. It was awesome, though. Oh, and yeah, Trump has to go, supposedly. Well, like I said, I feel like he wants to, but I don't know if he will. The Fireside Psychic, Melda, Sterling Roses, whoops. Melda, I think I'm down to the end here. Did I make it? Secondhand News with Jill. All right, everybody. Have a good evening. And I will see everybody next time. And it might be a couple weeks, but I'll try to come on at least for a little bit while I'm in England next. I'll be in England next week, so I'll try to jump on at some point then. I just want to make it a for sure things. I'm not exactly sure what day or whatever, so I'll just watch make sure you ring the bell so that if I do pop on whenever, you'll get the notice, okay? Arlene Forney, thank you so much. All right, everybody, have a good night, and I will see you later. And oh, Pamela Stevens, Delilah Gillis, Tracy Robb, Shelley S, Roxanne M. Thank you, everybody. All right, see you guys later. Thanks so much. Liz L, I will have a safe flight. All right, bye, everybody.